they're suing food delivery providers for what they say is withholding pay from workers. And it really gets to the heart of what the Mamdani administration is going to be about, using little known laws to go after big companies to fight for who they say is the little guy. The company that is being sued today is Motoclick, and the allegations are pretty simple, that they violated delivery worker laws by failing to pay the required minimum rate and deducting canceled and refunded orders directly from their paychecks. And these are folks who most times are only making, money off of the tips that they're getting from these people who are ordering food.
Wait, you mentioned the company that is in question here is Motoclick. This is not a company that I think a lot of people are necessarily familiar with. If you order from DoorDash or Grubhub, you don't necessarily have a direct interaction with Motoclick, do you?
Right. This is one of those companies that says it works with platforms like Uber Eats, DoorDash, and Grubhub. You may file your order through these companies, and then you don't know that the folks who are coming to deliver it are actually working with this, in some cases, last mile company. They are basically integrated into the point of sale systems at some of these restaurants. And so, yeah, you may order from Uber or Lyft, but you don't know that, Uber or DoorDash or Grubhub, but you don't understand, in that last mile where it's coming from. Well, the city's putting them on notice that, that they're going to be sued for this. And then in addition to that, the city passed laws in the last year or so that protects these workers. In addition to this lawsuit, they're also putting the delivery companies on notice that there are specific laws that protect workers as it relates to deliveries, making sure that they get proper wages, minimum wage, and all of that. And if that's not followed, that they could meet the same fate that's being met by Motoclick right now.
Myles, this of course follows the allegations that DoorDash and Uber deprived New York City delivery workers of more than $550 million in tips. That is a lot of money. Is there a sense, if this lawsuit is successful, that they might see those wages come back?
Yeah, I think what the city wants to do, and specifically the Department of Consumer and Worker Protection wants to do, is in filing any of these lawsuits or in making these claims public, is to put pressure on these companies to do the right thing before they get to the enforcement level. We've seen a lot of these companies that have been sued in the past, whether in the de Blasio administration, whether being sued by the comptroller's office, come to an agreement on a settlement, and that money does trickle down back to workers. But it doesn't stop with just the city hall, and doesn't stop with the comptroller's office. Just today, the Manhattan DA also, trying to make it clear that he wants protections for these workers, because these are, these wage cases continue to pop up. It was just about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, that Grimaldi's Pizza was being accused of wage theft and holding back pay for these low-paid workers, and that's going to be a major focus of this administration.